What's up? My name's Maddie, and I want to share with you how I went from this to the person that you see sitting in front of you today. As you can tell from the title, I am a detransitioner. I was born a woman, I transitioned to male through hormones, and socially transitioned, and have since detransitioned. I stopped taking hormones and now go by my birth given name. Let's start from the beginning. So whenever I was a young kid, I was not your typical girly girl. I was what people would call back then a tomboy. I was definitely barefoot, climbing trees, collecting rocks, building things for the barn cats to climb on. Like, you name it outside, I was doing it, okay? So, when did I start questioning my gender? I don't know the exact age. I was raised in a Christian household, and I remember being pretty young and just praying that I would just wake up the next morning completely as a boy, and that no one would ever remember that I was a girl, and I could just be a boy because I felt like that's what I should be. I didn't know the term transgender, but that's what I was feeling, and that's what I was praying for. I was like, God, just wake me up a boy. Don't let anybody remember that I was a girl, and my life will be perfect. And clearly that didn't happen, but I was always kind of jealous of the boys. Nobody ever tried to get them to wear a dress. Obviously, no one was ever telling them that they weren't ladylike. In my mind, I was just another boy. Like, I didn't fit in with the other girls. I just have always felt more masculine, which is okay, by the way. You don't have to be a boy just because you feel masculine. But anyways, I digress. Okay, let's get into my preteen and early teen years. I was always wanting to wear baggy clothes. I always wanted to wear the boy shorts or whatever. Whenever I'd be in PE, I'd always be challenging the boys to like arm wrestling or races or something to that effect, to kind of prove myself to myself and prove myself to them that I was like equal to or better than them. I was always trying to beat the boys in something to like, yeah, kind of prove who I felt like I was. So when did I find out what the term transgender was? I think I was around 13 or 14. I was Googling around trying to figure out why I felt the way that I did, and I came across this term, and I was like, what? Like, this all makes sense. Perfect. I can fix it. There's a solution. I can transition. I watched pretty much all of the YouTube videos that there were at the time of people who were born female and started taking testosterone, and I was like so jealous of the changes that they were getting, like the body hair, the deep voice, the facial hair, the surgeries, everything that they were getting. I was like, wow, I want to do that one day. Like, that's how, like, there's nothing wrong with me. This is who I'm supposed to be. It felt like such a relief to know that I wasn't alone in the way that I felt. And at the time, I felt like it was a solution to all the like inner turmoil stuff that was going on. Like, you know, going through puberty, my body was changing. I was like growing breasts, like your period starts, all that fun, not so fun stuff. So once I figured out what the term transgender was, and I saw all these videos of these people getting on hormones and getting top surgery and all of that stuff, I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I need to do to feel myself. I need to go through with these things. I made an account online going by the name of Ryder. I would take my hair and put it up in a beanie and like take pictures of myself posing as a boy, trying to express myself through that. Eventually I got found out. It did not go so hot, so I ended up kind of reverting back to being in the closet, I guess, and trying to be this girl, trying to be feminine, trying to wear makeup, trying to wear like the skinny jeans and be a girl, okay? If there's any right way to be a girl. I started trying to date guys. You know, I was just trying to be the typical girl, trying to do these different things. But I felt so uncomfortable in my body and the way that I was presenting as female. It really, I had so much anxiety and so much depression because I didn't feel like that was me. I just did not feel like I was supposed to be a girl. I felt like I was supposed to be a man. So around the end of my 19th year of life, I decided to go on testosterone. I went to a handful of visits with a counselor, and the counselor wrote me a note to an endocrinologist saying that I had dysphoria and that I should go on hormones. So I went to this endocrinologist, is that how you say it? In Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I got my first prescription for T. The first visit that I went to the endocrinologist is when I got my testosterone. Every week I had to inject myself in the thigh with testosterone. I don't remember how much I was on, but you did one thigh one week and the next week you did the other thigh, and that's just what I did every week until I was about 23. Don't get me wrong, I missed a couple weeks. I am horrible with being consistent. My voice started to change, it was dropping. I was so excited about that because I had been trying to socially transition, but every time I opened my mouth in public, everyone knew I was a girl. But that started to change as I was on hormones and my voice started getting deeper. I didn't get clocked as a girl as often. I ended up moving cities, and no one really knew that I was transgender unless I told them. I spent my time working, drinking, smoking, living my best life, you know, doing the thing, being who I thought I was supposed to be, right? Up until that point, I didn't really have a relationship with God. I never believed that there wasn't a God, but I just didn't have a relationship. Eventually, I started praying. One of the times that I was praying, I had an encounter with God. Basically, I was just talking to God, and I was asking him some questions and asking him about my family, because whenever I was going through testosterone and whenever I lived in the other city, they didn't really have anything to do with me. I wasn't really allowed to see my siblings because of all the changes that were happening. My parents didn't want my siblings to see that, so I wasn't around them. And I understood because I knew their views. It hurt, but I didn't hate them for it. I just knew that that's just how it was, and I kind of just sacrificed my relationship with my family to try and be this person that I thought I was supposed to be. But anyways, I was talking to God, and I had finally gotten my relationship back with my family a little bit, and they were letting me and my fiance at the time like come into their home and hang out with them. And I don't know, I didn't know what changed, but I started praying and I asked God, how did it go from them not wanting anything to do with me to now allowing me and my fiance, who was a woman, into their home? Like allowing us to be around them and just showing us genuine love and treating me like just another normal human being. It's like I heard the voice of God say, I gave them the spirit of love. And I have that same spirit of love if you would stop running from it. And in that moment, I knew that I needed to detransition, and I knew that I needed to break off my engagement with my fiance. Mind you, I hadn't been talking to anybody about God. I hadn't been talking to anybody about religion. Nobody had been asking me to go to church. I hadn't, none of that for years. It was just me talking to God, and I had this revelation. It was like, I have better plans for you. It was this insane amount of love that I felt that overflowed into even self-love. Like, I didn't ever think that I would love myself as a female, as the way that I was born. Didn't think that would ever happen. Never crossed my mind. And then I had this encounter with God, and he just lavished so much love onto me that I started to see myself the way he did, and I began to love the way that he created me. And I didn't feel the need to continue in transition. I didn't feel the need to try to be somebody that I wasn't born as. So after that moment, I began my detransition process, which was very difficult, but not near as hard as I thought it would be. Because again, I never thought that I would love myself or be able to live with myself if I stayed the way that I was created. If I lived my life as a woman, I did not think that I would ever be able to do that and be okay with it. I didn't think that I'd ever be able to accept myself without hormones and surgeries and all of the whole 9 yards. But when I had that encounter with him, he was like, no, I created you perfect the way that I designed you to be. You don't have to wear dresses or makeup or be the girliest girl around. Like, I created you with a purpose, exactly how you were supposed to be. So after I had this revelation with Christ, I started, asking more questions. I would pray more and build my relationship with Christ. He opened my eyes to a lot of the things that got me to the point that I was at, that I never would have even thought about had he not shown them to me. I believe that some of the main reasons that I wanted to transition in the first place stemmed from a distrust for men. My dad's worked on himself a lot since then, so like, I love you, Dad, if you're watching this, but I wanted to be a better dad than he was whenever I was younger, and I wanted to be a better husband than he was to my mom. I wanted to be a better boyfriend than the boys that I had tried to date whenever I was younger, because those experiences did not go great. They didn't respect me, and I wanted to treat a woman with love and respect, and so I sought that out. I just wanted to be that protector and that provider the way that a man should treat a woman. And I didn't trust a man to do that, so I wanted to take it into my own hands to be this man, be this protector. Anyways, now here we are today, and I have a beautiful daughter. She's 6 months old, and I am so grateful. I don't think I could picture my life without her now, so I'm very grateful that that was able to happen. This video is gonna need a lot of editing. So if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content from me, go ahead and hit the little subscribe button. Maybe hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I upload. I'm going to try to upload at least once a week, so we'll see how that works. Anyways, I love you guys. Jesus loves you, and I pray you have a prayer-filled day.